Hello, welcome back to another video, people. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Make sure to smashing the likes and subscribing if you are new. And yeah, we're talking about Mohamed Kudus again. Yes, talking about Mohamed Kudus again, but not necessarily just a player. The two fan bases involved in this supposed transaction, apparently. I really don't care about what the update is at this point. I just want my money. But West Ham fans and Tottenham fans gotta love an argument between these two fan bases, and I am a part of one of these fan bases, of course. But at the same time, when I listen to us argue with Tottenham fans, I think I lose a brain cell every single time because this is the problem when you combine delusion with being chronically online. Yeah, it's not the greatest of combinations as well. So, obviously, with Kudus being heavily linked with Tottenham, and every single fan on Twitter believing every single report under the sun, um, it doesn't really set out for people agreeing with each other. It sets out for major arguments, and this is what happens. Basically, a Tottenham fan, for example, will pretend like he doesn't care about West Ham United, but they make sure they tell you all the time that they don't care about West Ham United, even though I can name plenty examples of Tottenham fans caring about West Ham United. But I can also list a lot of examples of West Ham crashing out over no reason whatsoever, just because of the situation having to involve Tottenham. Now, both fan bases just do my head in for different reasons because I'm part of one of the fan bases, so I'm not necessarily agreeing with everything that my own fan base says. However, with Tottenham fans, I don't like Tottenham either, and some of their fans are kind of stupid, to be honest with you. But let's break it down one by one. I'm going to talk about West Ham United first, and West Ham United fans first about this situation. So let's get on to everything here. When it comes to this Kudus situation, I'm seeing fake protest banners. Yeah, why is this the time? Why is it because Kudus has gone to Tottenham? Now we want to protest. Now you want to protest about the owners. Now, no, this should have happened a long time ago. This should have happened a long time ago. Even when we were good, we should have been doing it. So for this to drive you to that point, I don't think your priorities are right. I'm being honest because David Sullivan doesn't change regardless, and I don't think David Sullivan is going to sell Kudus to Tottenham unless it's for a good price because Tottenham don't want to pay that money. And you just seen the price that Anthony Elanga's gone to Newcastle for, so that kind of proves that also. But also, if we're gonna be doing this whole process thing, it shouldn't be for a transfer. It should be for the lack of incomings that we have right now. It should be for the fact that they're really driving on the situation that West Ham needs a so-called sell to buy, but but West Ham don't need to sell to buy. It's a new PSR season. We're in July now, and if we're bidding for Malik Diouf, I'm pretty sure we don't need to sell to buy. It's just a cover up. That's the reason why you should be protesting. Maybe the reason why you should be protesting is also because we're in a London stadium and we was promised to be going to the next level on a consistent basis, and we were in Europe for a bit, and then we dipped down, and we don't know how to recover from it. And we're in the London stadium now for no reason. 10 years in, nearly. Maybe that's the reason why you should be protesting. Not because Mohamed Kudus might go to Tottenham Hotspur or not. Now, would I be angry if Kudus goes to Tottenham? Uh, yes and no. The reason why I say yes and no is because one, I just want my money. I'm more focused and more angry on the fact that West Ham don't have any incomings. But I am going to look at someone sideways that once said that they want to get West Ham back into European football, uh, but also wants to move to either Chelsea or Tottenham. Whether he goes to Chelsea or Tottenham, um, or either of the two of the clubs, I'm gonna look at him sideways regardless. You're gonna have a hater in me regardless because I don't like Chelsea. I don't like Tottenham. But West Ham fans also. Let me get on to this bit now. I remember when West Ham fans online called Declan Rice a snake. Genuinely disgraceful. I don't like Arsenal yet. I don't like Arsenal, but it's nothing to do with West Ham. I just don't like Arsenal. But that has nothing to do with West Ham because West Ham and Arsenal are rivals. We're not. The only time West Ham and Arsenal have had any form of altercation really is when Martin Keown was playing. for Arsenal, and West Ham fans used to give him shit quite a lot of the time. Other than that, there's not really been much beef between West Ham and Arsenal fans until the Declan Rice situation. Obviously, Arsenal fans are Arsenal fans, so you kind of just like, when you got that kid in school that's just gonna get like angry for no reason and just tries to confront everyone for a fight sort of thing, and you kind of just gotta let the kid do his thing until they actually throw a punch at you, and then you just beat them up sort of thing. That is Arsenal fans for you. So for me, with Arsenal fans and the whole Declan Rice situation, I never called Declan Rice a snake. But the logic from West Ham fans was Declan Rice moved to another London club. Declan Rice moved to another London club, so he's a snake. So in that case, James Tompkins is a snake. In that case, Issa Diop is a snake for moving to Fulham. In that case, Scott Parker is a snake. Like, there's so many different like players that move to other London clubs. Cheku Kuyate is a snake. Like, there's so many. Like even if you're not counting direct transfers to another London club, is Paul Konchesky a snake? I'm pretty sure Paul Konchesky was at Fulham. Like who? Like there's so many West Ham players that played for other London clubs that West Ham don't even consider rivals. From what I've always gathered from West Ham United's history, is that Chelsea and Tottenham have been the only two Premier League London clubs that West Ham have seemed to care about. But West Ham fans like to pretend they don't care about. They don't hate Chelsea and all this. And I guess it's maybe an older fan thing, but I always grew up hating Chelsea. I always grew up hating Chelsea. But the fact that some of you are also fine with Mohamed Kudus going to Chelsea and wasn't fine with Declan Rice going to Arsenal kind of says a lot about how much you know about the club, how much you know about the history of the club, and how much stupidness is in your brain. Because West Ham have always hated Chelsea more than Arsenal for different reasons. Even old Chelsea fans will tell you. The Chelsea fans that will chant about West Ham at the fucking stadium will tell you they hate West Ham. There's a lot of Chelsea fans that hate West Ham, but it is what it is. So with the whole thing about Kudus is a snake, I think he is, but I keep the same energy, and I also know the history of the club. I know moving to Chelsea and Tottenham is a worse move than moving to Arsenal, and also Kudus has done barely anything for the club compared to what Declan Rice did. That's different. I called Scott Parker a snake until I found out the reason why he moved to Tottenham. But I don't really like Scott Parker still. I don't like Scott Parker. I'm sorry, West Ham fans. I don't like Scott Parker, but that's me in it. But there's bare people that could have snaked it. Aaron Cresswell refused to train for West Ham to try and move to Wolves in the January of the season where we won the Conference League, and you lot still call him a good servant to the club. Now, a lot of people will say to me, "But what about your thing with Antonio?" Mainly Charlie, big up Charlie. Will say about what you think with Antonio. You can't ask for more money. You can't ask for more money after your situation, and then here's what it is. You're now released, and West Ham haven't even done a fucking tweet about it. They haven't announced it on their website or anything about Antonio being released. Um, I'm not calling Antonio a snake, but I'm making context out of the situations that West Ham have been in terms of the players wanting to leave for different reasons. I don't like Dimitri Payet, still to this day, for the way he left. I don't like Marko Arnautovic, still to this day, for the way he left. Declan Rice left how you should leave. We got 105 million for the guy on 1 year left, on a 1 year left as well. Don't forget that. So with Mohamed Kudus being a snake, he is, but you man don't keep the same energy if you move to Chelsea. You're only doing this for Tottenham. And some of you are acting like you don't know about West Ham versus Chelsea. You might only care about Tottenham, which is why I can understand the period of the Tottenham fans saying that West Ham are kind of obsessed because there are a portion of our fan. If we're being so honest, there's a portion of the fan base that are too obsessed with Tottenham. To be honest with you, I'm gonna be real. I'm being real with it. For me, I only care about these games when they're on the day of the game. That's why I don't argue with none of these Tottenham fans because uh, some of them don't know how to argue about football. To be completely honest with you, but I don't really care until we face them, and then if we lose to them, I'm pissed. If we win against them, cool, good. We haven't beaten them in a while, um, apart from the end season, I guess. At home, it's been 4 years. Keep drawing to these lot, and with Chelsea, it's the same thing. I actually have to care more about the Chelsea rivalry nowadays because there's a lot of Chelsea fans that flood my comments and flood my mentions on Twitter. So it's a bit different. Now let me get on to the Tottenham fans. I'm done with the West Ham fans. Let me get on to the Tottenham fans. Tottenham fans. Uh, I don't know whether you have some inferiority, superiority complex, whatever the fucking phrase is. But whether you like it or not, you care about West Ham United, and no one's telling you to care about West Ham United, by the way. But you guys just do it anyway because you guys seem to be very gassed to be supposedly taking Mohamed Kudus from West Ham United. You seem to be very very happy. So that's one. That's one part of it. Second of all, I literally saw a banner about uh in the Europa League final of Tottenham being against certain groups of political people, and also added West Ham to that banner. You're going to one of the biggest games in your recent history, and West Ham's being brought up. Like you don't need to bring us up if you don't care about us. Um, when in the Antonio Conte season, where Tottenham beat us 2-0, when we actually won the Conference League, Tottenham fans chanted West Ham are going down in the tune of it's coming home, but also set off flares after beating us. I went to West Ham United 1, Tottenham 1 in Ange Postecoglou's first season, and Tottenham fans were trying to fight us in Stratford. They were trying to act like they were going to fight us until there's a barrier in between. Tottenham fans, whether they like it or not, care about West Ham United. And the reason why this is because Arsenal and Chelsea bully them, so they need someone else to bully. Like it's like all the anger inside of them from getting slapped around by Arsenal and Chelsea until they won the Conference League. They don't get slapped around by Arsenal anymore. But all that thing about getting slapped around by Arsenal and Chelsea for a long time about them being bigger clubs than you. You just get angry. You get overexcited. Then start thinking you are Chelsea when you are arguing with West Ham United fans. Like Tottenham fans, it's okay. It's okay. You're allowed to care about West Ham United. You don't have to, but at the same time, you're not as big as you think you are. If you were, you'd be attracting players like galore, and you would have signed bare players after winning the Europa League. And you know what? I wasn't happy when you won the Europa League. Of course I wasn't. But I've also said that Tottenham fans should be celebrating it a lot more than they have. And the reason why I say that is because you man are now crashing out about your transfer window, rightly so. But Daniel Levy has used that so you didn't have to celebrate it for that long. He literally set Ange Postecoglou and it was like nothing happened. It was like nothing happened to do with the Europa League. So Tottenham fans, it's okay, man. It's okay. But you man seem to care a lot about taking Mohamed Kudus away from West Ham and seem to think that the deal is done already. This is what you man are like. You pretend that you don't care about West Ham, and then you do this all the time. When Tottenham beat West Ham, it's like, bro, they tell you, by the way, guys, we don't care about West Ham United. We don't care about West Ham United. We don't care. Like it's like they have to tell you all the time. Oh, by the way, we don't care. Like, okay, you don't care. If you people that say that they don't care about something care. it's like I don't understand it personally. I don't understand it personally. I have a lot of proof that Tottenham care about West Ham. A lot of proof. And that's the thing, you could do the whole cup final thing. You could do the whole cup final thing. And I can't rebuttal anymore saying when was the last time you won a cup final? I can't rebuttal by saying that anymore because you won the Europa League. But both of us have recently won cup finals. There is no cup final talk anymore. I mean, you man still tried it after the whole Conference League thing. I saw them YouTubers still making videos about, oh, it's West Ham's cup final. I've seen your fans set off flares when you've beaten us, singing your hearts out like you just been at an Oasis concert. Simple as that. These two fan bases clashing about Mohamed Kudus. This is what Kudus has done. Hey, Mohamed Kudus, this is what you've done, by the way. This is what you've done. You've allowed these two fan bases to argue like this. The way you man are getting chatty to each other is so funny. Because none of this is fucking worth it, to be honest with you. None of this is worth it. I literally, legit just want my money. I want my money. And I want signings. I am more angry about us not signing anyone. That's me personally. Like at this point, I do not care where Mohamed Kudus goes. As much as I've criticized the player, on the off chance that he does do well at a different club, I don't want it to be against us and at our expense. So even when we sell a shit player, Kudus is not shit, but if we sell a shit player, for example, I would like them to be out of the Premier League because they can still dunk on us. We've had this multiple times. We've literally had Cheku Kuyate do the exact same thing against us when we sold him to Crystal Palace. Like this shit always happens to us. It always happens to us. So yeah. Make sure to like the video, people. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. Social medias are in the description if you want to follow me. And an email for inquiries. Take care and peace.